Check 1 2. I got a new mic. I got some other headphones. My other earpods have began to malfunction. So I'm just testing this new device out, this configuration. This audio tool that I had to repurchase, it wasn't very expensive. It's quite affordable. But the main key and important significance, effect, and essential, purpose is that it works, that it is sufficient, and not just sufficient, but efficient, proficient at collecting content, collecting material. Yes, in a palatable as well as digestible fashion and method. But I don't want you to be discouraged or to disrespect the technique. Okay? Yes. When you give of yourself and sacrifice at the altar, all of your fears, all of your hopes, all of your reserves, anxieties, tensions, doubts, worries, wishes, expectations, and intentions, it is intense, right? It can be frightening, it can be intimidating. If you realize it before, of course, you find yourself there already, is when it's most powerful. When you are already there and you think about, oh yeah, I'm about to be relaxed for the next few moments until I'm not. I'm about to really be at one. I'm about to be one with myself, or with oneness. I'm about to just be one with one. With whatever, it ain't with nothing, because it's one. How the fuck? It's with what? One with? What the fuck you mean one with? Nigga, how's one with anything? Nigga? It's one. One with, huh? Now see, you doing that extra thinking that come afterwards and shit. Extra special. Extra special, right? No, one, just be one. Not one with, nigga. That's zero, right? Really one is zero, right? Because it's all, right? Any, whatever it is, whether it's 2, 1, 7, -2, you put a 0, it's still the same thing, yes? But you add 1, then you getting all mixed up with yourself. However, right? But yeah, you're allowing whatever to happen, bad or good. You're releasing, but not like you're forfeiting. Surrendering and forfeiting is not the same thing. Surrendering is to embrace, to absorb. Forfeiting is to separate, right? You know what I mean? What you would rather want to whatever it is you're just going to take instead, as opposed to allowing your wants to be trumped by what's best or what is most real, because you're not going to know what's most real until, you can't fully appreciate what's the most real until you see it at all, for all the sides that it is what I'm saying, right? Because no one thing is ever just one thing, even though it is what you want it to be, if that's all you want out of it. If that's all you want out of it, then that's your prerogative too. But even in what it is that you would be accepting it as, it's still not only that. That's just only what it is that you're making it out for whatever reason. But, you feel me? You gotta let go and let God, live and let live. And it's not about always remembering that. It's not about making sure that you remind yourself and whoever else when they're going through issues or whatever else. Just pray. It's always the best thing. First, and last, and enduring thing to do is to be praying about it. but you can't pray forever, and you can pray forever. And I would love to just be sitting up praying forever. But however, even in prayer, even in supplication, you know, it brings you to action. It brings you to the next best thing, right? In union with your prayers. They say work in union with your prayers. Ephesians 7:19. I don't know if that's the scripture. Ephesians 7:19 tells us to work in union with our prayers. Matthew the 7th chapter verse 23. That's probably not it either. It tells us that faith without works is dead. You understand? So prayer is the portal, is what I'm saying, right? But it's not only just one portal, right? A portal is going to what, nigga? Zoom you, going to transport your ass to the next portal, yes. Which is the next what? Prayer, right? If prayer is a portal, and the portal transports you to another portal, then you're being transported to where? Your next prayer. And in between them prayers, what's happening? Since you're transporting, yes? You're transforming. You know what I'm saying? You're changing. You feel me? You're shifting. You're transitioning, yes. Through these different choices. You know what I'm saying? To pray or not to pray is the real choice, right? Now, if you're already praying and what it is that you are in the middle of doing is majorly connected to whatever choice the prayer involved, then it is that whatever it is what you're doing, your action you're taking, you still praying, right? You know what I'm saying? You still praying, right? Because whatever it is was said in your prayer, right? Because just right now, right, I said I'm gonna just pray for what it is that I'm worried about, or that I feel like I need to do something about. Because I'm a activator. I'm a regulator, like Warren G and the late great, God bless his soul, Nate Dogg, so eloquently and artfully, established for us, player pimps in the lane. Regulation, yes, the G-Funk regulation. You have to be a regulator, right? What is a regulation? It is a program. It's a programming, right? That is in itself the transition, the shifting is the regulation. Yes. What does regular mean? It means something that is in rotation. That is a regular activity, right? The more you do something is the most regular of it that it is. You do it every day, that is the regulation of it. You know what I mean? You do it every week, its regulation is weekly. I'm a regulator. I'm gonna tell you, know what I mean? Some things you ain't gotta do but once, but everything you don't take only just one time. Some things you ain't got to do, but you shouldn't have to do but once. But everything don't take only one time and shouldn't and don't have to take just one time. You understand? But so the different transition, the different calibration is, of course, now identifying and establishing between which of those actions are of the nature of a one-time only nature, because something you do is going to include whatever else you could also be doing regularly, like prayer, right? Like a tattoo, like building, right? You build a house, you do that one time, but you're going to go to that house every day, yes? You're going to be building on the house seasonally, right? You know what I mean? You're going to make it, that's all related to that first action. It's still the same action. You're still doing it once, even though you're doing it again and again, doing more of it. You're doing it differently. You feel me? But it's the same action. That's a one-time action that you would either do again or not, or whoever else would do again, in that it was done once. But then once it's undone, then you do something else. But that's still a one-time thing, right? The same house on the same land is once. It can only be it until it isn't, and then it will be whatever else. But that wasn't the thought I had. The thought I was saying to myself basically was, I understand it can be overwhelming sometimes, you know, the anxiety, the pressures, the tension of life, of challenges, of the transition, of the regulation, of the irregulation, and the interruptions and interferences in these different transmissions. Yes, it can be discouraging sometimes. It can be disheartening. And the beautiful part, one beautiful thing is when you take a moment to infuse it with that holy thought, with that holy water, so to speak, you know, because your whole body's made up of water, majority water. 90% of your molecules is water. 70+% of all of your body organism is water, right? So even your very thoughts, your very dreams, beliefs, they are activated and infused as well as communicated through water regardless. So you are now sanctifying, purifying what is called activating the water in your very body with whatever thoughts that you have, with whatever praying that you're doing, my nigga. The water in your now body is now holy, my nigga. It's been baptized, nigga, anointed, nigga. The water is then supposed to rise up your spine and through continued regulation of positive and holy thoughts be transformed into a oil. Okay? Now this is called being anointed. You understand? This is what someone may even refer to as enlightenment. Yes, but that's only one step. That's only one portal. It's going to take you to a further portal if your fucking beam boot up connection is strong enough and regular enough, because it only can grow to be strong enough through regulation. Yes, that wasn't the point I wanted to make. You know what I mean? This is basic what I'm saying, as far as just reaching back and just saying, hey, hold on. I'm capable, but I'm only capable because I became as capable as I feel like I can continue to be, out of respect for capability, in regards and praise of power, true power, which is what? Energy. True power is what? Peace, yes? What's true power, huh? Oh, shit, you tell me. You know, coming back to one, centering yourself, collecting your feelings, thoughts, emotions, ideas, dreams, integrating them together. Because an emotion ain't nothing but a thought. It's just a thought in denial of itself. You can't even identify your emotion. You can't even associate with your emotions without your body automatically do though, right? And that's the whole thing. Like, your brain directs your organs regardless. You have what are called not enzymes but hormones. Yes, now these are chemicals. Yes, hormones are chemicals, my nigga. They have literal information in them. These hormones do. They have encrypted and encrypted instructions, nigga, that communicate with your organs, my nigga. Now, all of these hormones, nigga, derive from your brain activity, whether it's conscious or subconscious, cuz. So an emotion is physical, okay? More physical than mental, in that your awareness and conscious acknowledgement, association with it or of it is not so apparent. But it is, because you already know, but it is at the same time you're not focused on what it is that you already know, right? You're flipping it inside out, basically, and allowing the power of it to direct you, or quote unquote control you, master you, because it's already a regulation. It's already a system to it, a powerful system. So if you are now relinquishing your power, forfeiting your power, as opposed to surrendering the power, which is what, like I said, was to embrace, what? To absorb, yes. To fuse, yes. To align with the power is to surrender, not to it, but in it, with it, as one, not one with, as one, in the all in the one, yes. It involves surrender, but it also involves empowerment. It involves surrender, but it also involves awareness, respect, what is called reverence, right? When you enhance something, you feel me? You not extend it, but you enrichment. It involves harmony, is what it involves. Harmonization, yes. And before I forget what I came back to say about what I was saying, let me say it real quick, because I don't even got time to do this. I was just checking my mic out. Nah, but dang, dog, dang, I had it MC. That's what I'm saying. Oh, dog. Yeah, it kind of can be intimidating. Cause you realize, right? Dang, what was I thinking? Hold on. There's a way I had put this, right? And it made me jump on here because, okay, yeah, now that's perfectly stated. That was I formulated my thought on that perfectly in my mind, right? But then I said, okay, now that that's already its pure essence, I'm going to forget it if I do not record this. It's not that I'm going to forget it. I've already fused with it. Yes, I've harmonized it within my heart and brain to where I don't need to consciously be able to refer to it. It's part of me. That is the sorts of thinking our brains and minds are designed to be doing. I'm not gonna explain shit to you. You should be able to see. And if you can't, then I can break it down to where then you can piece it together on your own. Because otherwise, you will not retain it anyway. Ho. Is the part and is the reality. And you already know what it is. And that's the game you want to play with me by not saying what you could say and saying what it is that you don't even mean. And I'll smack the shit out of your ass, nigga, without touching you. I'll have one of my bitches come beat your ass, nigga. Real talk. Why? Because we ain't got so much time for that shit. The mind ain't made for that. You know what I mean? I got nothing but compassion and empathy and understanding, and you feel me? And I relate to you, but I don't have a high tolerance. I have a high tolerance, but only for potent drugs is what my tolerance is for. You understand? I cannot split and divide my tolerance. Yes, I don't have tolerance for bullshit. I have tolerance for top flight. Listen, the part is right. I'm a yeah. See, I thought of it. Right? It came to my mind. And I said, okay, wait, yeah, that's it. Bang. Now, this will be enriching for someone else to be able to realize, right? Because it's not that. And see, what a part of it is like when you can recognize the feel of it, right? The look of love, right? You already know if someone is going to be able to relate to it and say, okay, that's going to connect all these different little sharded little. Because sometimes a motherfucker will literally, and even if it's conscious or subconsciously, snatch one of your shards, nigga. In whatever conversation, in whatever interaction, right? Sometimes on purpose, sometimes it's not on purpose. But nothing is by accident or by coincidence, for one, whether it's you realize it or not. And that's the situation. That's why I only have so much of a tolerance for the shit, low key. You understand? Because then there's be the same niggas cheating to win. There be the same niggas lying to be right. at the same time, while you being all, you feel me, patiently, what is it called, accepting of some old bullshit. No, nigga, they don't even accept the shit, so don't accept it past, nigga, 2%. Enough to where you ain't gotta, you feel me, combat it, you ain't gotta confront it, you ain't gotta conflict with it at the same time, like as far as allowing it any space where it don't even exist because it's not even reality. It's only so far to take that, you know what I mean? It's nowhere to even take it because it ain't going nowhere except for where it's already at. It's gonna keep coming back to where it already is. There's no transporting involved with any of those, right? That is not on the frequency of the regulation. It isn't, right? And it's, hey, but it's going on, but it's not even really going on because, like I said, what you know in your heart. And when you come back to those points, is when you can connect the dots. The only thing is, okay, what's keeping you from the points? Nothing really. It's just what you see as what ain't actually what it is, right? Because that's the power in it. We have the power to do whatever you want. Like, power is absolute in that it corrupts absolutely, right? It's like it can destroy itself because it is, of course, the force in itself. You feel me? Force, right? Even a destructive force is a positive force in that it is powerful, yes? It cannot even be anything unless it's energetic, right? And energy in itself is always positive in that it is real, yes? Right? So you got to think about it in a particular way, right? Energy is positive in that it is real. Energy is real, right? Now, we might misinterpret whatever energy as a different signature than essential and its nature, right? The nature of actually what it is and where it derives from, right? And what its purpose is, right? But that doesn't change the very powerful, the very power of it, the very positivity of it, in that it is anything, which is energy. Yes, you know what I'm saying? And to where it can be effectiveness, right? Existence is now something different from istance. Existence, right? To exist is that you were, as opposed to are. To exist. Not to say, oh, we don't exist. At the same time, we are existing. Not we exist. We are existent, as in are. You know what I mean? As opposed to is, right? Which is existence, yes? X is. We were existing or existent. No, we are existing. And there's power in that, and that is energy, right? But the energy is, there's ranges, there's a regulation, there's a system to it. And in the system, there's a sequence. Yes, in the system, there's a sequence. That means a 1, a 2, a 3, a 3, a 2, a 1. You know, whatever direction you want to go, there's steps, there's portals. That's going to take you to the next portal. Right? Now, you can bounce from 2 to 3, but you're going to have to get to that, or you can bounce from 1 to 3, but you're going to eventually have to come back to that 2. And if you're going to in between 3 and 1, 1 and 3, 3 and 1, you got to keep track of however many times you skip that 2, my nigga. Because that's all included, yes? And if you feel like you're going to go to 1, 3, 50 times and go to 2, 48 times and try to keep going about your extending, your transitioning to 4, that's not a full 4, right? You still owe that 4 a couple of 2s. You still owe that 4 a couple 2s, yo. You at 48 2s, cuz. We forgot a couple 2s back behind them bounces of existing and shit. As opposed to being. Yes, to be. The fuck is it to exist? That's a new word. That's a new term. Gotta be careful with them phrases. Yes. We owe these 4s a couple 2s between these 1s and 3s, yes? Because it's all 0 anyway. And that's something not to forget. But you shouldn't have to remember it because it's already remembered, unbroken. So to remember it, just make sure you are completely remembering and not leaving those 2s out.